The 6th anniversary is finally here in Duel Links, meaning we're getting our legendary Mirror Force, we're getting the dream tickets, the sales, the gems, the bonuses, the selection box, the structure deck, which is a bit lackluster, but today we're going through the brand new dream ticket. And this will be going all the way through the 41st mini box being Stars of Synchro, so all the cards from this box and below you can obtain. And of course we'll be getting our first one on day 2, that's today when I'm posting this, and our second one on SR Dream Ticket on day 4, so look forward to that one. But what are the best cards you can get for your dream ticket? What's the best way to go about it? We're going to talk about that in today's video, but before we do, if you are new here, you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, I'm not subscribed, like 65% of you watching this aren't subbed, do me a favor please, leave a like, subscribe, they're much appreciated. Anyway, let's dive right into the brand new UR and SR Dream Tickets, let's go. So of course some of the usual housekeeping with regards to Dream Tickets, you don't need to spend a ticket today, you've got months to do so, and so waiting can be the best bet in case a card from boxes in years prior comes back into the metagame via a new set or a new archetype. You might want to save your ticket just in case for that. Also, when you go for your ticket, make sure to turn on the boxes setting. Now this won't exclude structure deck cards, which you should ignore, right? Do not go and buy the guy in the Magical Knight Dragons, right? Do not bother with that, go and buy the structure deck. But also make sure to not use your ticket to get cards from campaigns and events. You can get those via your other UR tickets, and you do not want to waste the most valuable item in Duel Links every single year. Just do not do it, please. So now that that's out of the way, let's go through the cards you should pick. We're going to sort this by URs and SR cards, and so let's dive right in. So first of all, really, meta staples are the best case scenario. Cards you'll use in every single deck going forward, things like Book of Moon and MST are the two best cards you can buy with this ticket by far for any single deck in the game. They will be played, they will be good for the foreseeable future, and you'll get your investment on them tenfold. Also, some other things like Forbidden Lance, for example, is very good right now for the Magical Musket deck, and so being able to make sure your musket's alive, if you're playing this deck, you want to have this card, it's available in a bundle, but if you want more copies, then using a tick on this would be a good idea. Also, things like Cosmic Cyclone always kind of come in and out of the metagame depending on any skills, so again, a very good card. But recent one is Needle Sealing. Now, this is seeing play in Salmon Greats, which is tier 2, and Trickstars, which is currently kind of getting up there, a very good cog deck, and with a skill, 3-effect skill, this card is broken. And so if you don't have this card already, it's in a very old box, it is on 50% gem sale, so if you want to dig into a 200 pack box, you can do, but if you want to just use a ticket, then this is a very, very good shout if you've already got your Book of Moons and MSTs, which you probably will do. There's also things like Canadia and Blister Squad and Floodgate Trap Hole, which have all seen play in the past, which can be good, but I would not recommend using a ticket on them right now, just kind of save it. Now onto some more archetype specific stuff, right? Going back to the muskets, if you are playing muskets, then you might want to play the build with your Ties of the Brethren, a very good card but not core to the deck. There's also the Shuffle Reborn for Galaxy Eyes. It's the tech card that came out of nowhere. It's very, very good in the deck, and so if you want to play Galaxy Eyes, you want some copies of this card. But also Dark Magical Circle for Dark Magicians. Of course, this wasn't reprinted in the structure deck back in January last year, and so it's still a core card of the deck. It's a 2 or 3 of if you want to play it. And since you can't get Illusion Magician in this ticket, this is your next best option. But let's go back to some meta cards right now. First of all is Crimson Blader, a card available in the Stars of Synchro mini box. It's a UR, and it's a one-off in Infernos, which is tier 2, which is a very good pick for this. Also, you got Cyberslash Harpy Lady, again available in a mini box, but Harpies were top tier, so you might have this deck already. It's used in Mech Knights. Similarly, you've got the Galaxy Eyes package in Mech Knights, and you've got Dark Rebellic Seas Dragon, Abyss Dweller. This one to watch out for though, because this one's available in a very good box full of other super rare cards you might want to get. Malevolent Sin might be worth saving your ticket instead of going on this and just going to the box anyway. There's also things like Excalibur, which is being used currently in the brand new Poker Knights deck if you want to mess around with that. And of course Sunrise, but you would have had this card anyway, 2 or 3 of, if you're into the box for heroes, which you kind of needed to. And onto the more main decky things, right, you've got Deracrane, it's a 3 of in the train deck, but you're only reusing 2 of the Xyz in that box, so if you want to use one of them on this, it makes sense. Rescue Rabbit can come in and out of decks being played, right? Some decks can really abuse this card, some can't, and so we're just waiting on something to come that will actually do that. Stratos as well, again, a 3 of in Heroes. It's in a very old main box now that doesn't have much value outside of that, so maybe worth going into. Alistair the Invoker has recently gone to Limit 3, of course Invocation is now off the list, and so you can play both of them together, and so high potential for more Invoke support coming soon, Copium, I don't know. Of course, if you're playing tournaments, DD Crow might be super viable. Now that Salads are kind of tapering off, it might not be as viable, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, Goki Super X, it's a mini box UR, it's very, very good in the metagame right now, one of the most top tier decks you can get, and if you're not gone into it, then it might be worth going into, but also, it's in a selection mini box, super mini box, so it's not too expensive to go into if you do want to spend a little bit of money. But overall, my picks are going to be, of course, the Book of Moon and the MST as the main priorities, and then going forward, anything you really want to build a deck that you might be wanting to play. But of course, it's always best to wait and see what happens, given, you know, end of the month, we've got a mini box or Revolver coming, and that could change the metagame given the last 2 Januaries have both had really good mini boxes. And then onto our super rare cards, and this one's a bit weird because there's not many SR cards in the game that are super worthwhile right now. Of course, we've got things like TTH and Karma Cut and Chalice. These are fine, I don't really recommend them given that they're already in mini boxes and they're already easy to get. But also, in for more niche case scenarios, right, you've got things like Orcus, which might get more support, given we're getting Nightmares and, Mech Knights and Lore-wise, they're kind of next up. It just kind of makes sense. But also, Math Mech Edition is a very good pick. It's in a mini box from a long time ago, and it's seeing play now in Code Talkers, so if you want to play it, it's a one-off to get. It makes sense. Also, similarly, the Swamp King for DDDs, they've kind of gone off meta relevance, right, but they're still pretty good, so maybe this is a good shout. And I'll mention it now. I did say don't get structure deck cards, alright, but if you are a free-to-play player, then maybe it's worth going into your Cyreflexes if you're playing with your Mech Knights, or Microcoder if you can get it. I'm not too sure if you can do, but sometimes they make the structure decks available in these tickets right when they weren't released, right? So if you can do, you play this at 2, and the structure deck, you only really need 1 copy for this card and the link, and then the other copy of this. It's just kind of worth doing if you're really dead set on playing Code Talkers and you really are dead set on being free to play. No money spent at all. But the big draw of SR tickets is the extra deck package. There's so many options, it's unreal. First of all, the real meta pick is going to be Crocosaur. This is seeing play in Mech Knights and Infernoids, your tier 1 and tier 2 decks, so it's a very good pick. Also, just some generally good things, right, like Steel Swarm Roach and your Malevolent Sin, both available in the same box, as well as the Bouncer. These are 3 very good cards. I wouldn't recommend using your ticket on this because if you go into the mini box anyway, you'll be getting Dueler as well, and so there's just so many good picks in that box. I just wouldn't recommend touching it with your SR ticket. But also things like your Big Eye, a good generic rank 7, your Ebon Illusion Magician, it's a one-off in Dark Magician if you want to play it, and it's available in a main box that has no other Dark Magician support cards, so it's kind of worth going into if you've not got it already. Similarly is Beatrice. Now this was a mini box card, it was the Galaxy Stars mini box, so people probably went into it, but if you're playing BAs, then you might want this. If not, it's still a good shout. And then of course there's things like Break Sword, you've got your Goronic Guardian, and your Alucard. All of these Exceeders are very good, all of them will be solid ticket choices, but I think overall, going for things like your Break Sword and your Crocosaur and some of the main deck ones probably make a bit more sense. But those are my picks for the UR and SR Dream Ticket. Of course, I probably got some missing and some wrong, so let me know down below what you would pick from your ticket, or what you're going to pick, or if you're going to be saving, or waiting for Evolver, or doing whatever. Just let me know down below, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, that kind of thing. I'll see you all maybe tomorrow for another Duel Links video. I'm not too sure what we're doing yet for the Imperial Joker structure deck. I'm kind of thinking about not doing anything with it because it's not really that interesting to me and doesn't seem to be that good, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.